Guys, pick an accent.
Korean, South Korean,
Korean?
specifically.
Jesus, give me a minute.
There's
And
no
half
way to,
Haitian.
there's no way to do that without sounding horribly racist, though.
Yeah, you're right. Pick one where I'm not racist.
I'm
Caribbean.
afraid that's on you, buddy.
And we are live. Hello.
Caribbean. All right, great.
You're Jamaican.
Welcome to episode 69 of Snafu, as usual.
Why is that the one I join in on?
Is it always episode 69?
It is always episode 69
It
of my
has been
campaigns,
for
yes.
a couple
Has
months.
been, always has
Nice. Nice.
Well, I feel better about it now.
been. Yes. So, you are all thuggy boys, criminals in the town of Throneport. That's all you really know about each other, so that's where we'll start with that. In one way or another, each of you has been invited to the Devilish Raven in order to make contact with a man you know as Gary. Well, I suppose 3 of you have, but we'll get to that later. As a bit of background that you would all know, Throneport is a town in the middle of the continent of Corvair. And in the last war, the Empire of Galifar was completely destroyed and torn apart into many small pieces, and Throneport was the previous seat of power that is now kind of a political and legal gray area where none of the countries really want to intervene in it at all, because it would look bad. So it has become a den for thieves, criminals, spies, and all sorts of shady business. And that is where you have all been for some time, and being level 5 characters, you've all made a decent name and reputation for yourself. Or, again, I should say 3 of you have. And so, we will head right over to the Devilish Raven.
I will note that this is the very first time I have ever seen this website. I have no idea how to do anything.
No worries, we'll work through it as we go.
Like, is this basically my character sheet here on the right? I don't need to open anything separate?
So, you should see on the top left a bunch of buttons with your character's name, things like inventory, features, skills, etc.
Yes.
If you hover over inventory, you should be able to see things like a weapon you can use to attack. If you've got spells, you can click on those, things like that. If you do want to see your character sheet...
Why does Roll20 exist when this exists?
This came out this year. It was fantastic.
This is nice.
He pays money for it.
I paid one time for it. It's great.
Ferdinand, you need to pay money for this.
Nope. I am not rebuilding everything I've ever made in a new system.
There's an importer module. It's great.
Goddamn.
But the what was I saying? Yes. So if you hit C, you can bring up your character sheet as well, since you all have a default assigned character. That's got more information on it and stuff. But yeah, the quick bar up there at the top is pretty convenient. If you want, you can write your own macros and things too, if you'd prefer to do things that way. Some of my other players do that, but I also don't mind you guys rolling physical dice. I trust you guys. Cheating in D&D makes it boring, so just don't do that to yourself. Or roll in whatever other tool you want. So just whatever works is fine. So you guys have entered into the Devilish Raven, a pub in the Brillish zone of the town of Throneport, which Throneport itself, like I said, is kind of a political no man's land, but several sections of it have been more or less culturally divided among some of the more influential nations of Corvair, and Breland is the most crimey of all of them, with the most organized crime, and even the seat of power in Breland is just part of the Mafia itself, too. So, not only are you in a crimey town, you're in the crimiest part of the crimey town. You're welcome. I figured this was fitting to replace Crimes D&D.
We will make our own country, and we will call it Crimea.
Yes, indeed.
Careful not to invade.
I think that's copyrighted, which might be a crime.
Revoke my
Hey,
previous
that's an
statement.
acronym of Crimea.
All of these
What?
random white faces in here are just people
Anagram.
that I didn't assign images to. They're just random blank NPCs, so you're welcome for that.
You can't just say white face like
Yeah. Oh, well, they
They're all
are
changed
faces
like
that
this,
are indeed white. I guess they're not really faces, though. All of these random white tokens. But here we are.
They're token whites.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's better.
And so we've set the precedent on which our campaign will be built.
Indeed.
15 minutes.
Gotta be careful with the first 15 minutes. It sets the tone.
We are against Whitey.
Out of this door, near the door you guys entered, walks the man you all recognize as Gary. Well, I see you're all here then. Shall we get to it? And he steps aside and gestures with his arm towards the open door behind him. Whoa. 3 of you are here. Where's Stefan? Oh, whatever. Just get in here. She is gesturing to this door down here. He then sits at this fancy seat here.
Like that.
Look at us all nestled together here.
Indeed, yes. So, I'm not sure if any of you know each other, but I know each of you in at least one way or another. I know you all have a bit of a reputation to you, and think you're the right people for the task, but I must say, I didn't warn you about this part. The opportunity that I have for you today does not come from me, but it comes from... And he gets interrupted at this point as somebody just appears in a chair next to you all.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
Hello. You're not Stefan.
I'm Passy.
Hello, Passy. How did you get in here?
What? How did you get in here?
I run this place.
Okay.
Anyways,
Shake Cassie's hand vigorously.
Drinks, anyone? Let's start with that after this.
I could have a drink, Jack.
Very well.
I will take
Since
a
becoming
lemonade
Irish,
with
but whatever.
strawberries.
We serve ale here, sir.
I will take an ale.
Very well. An ale for everyone. He opens this little window here and taps his fist on it. Says, "That'll be 5 ales, please." And a maid walks up with several ales, a whole tray of them, shoves it through the window, and he distributes them. And then he closes the door and locks it again, or the window rather. Now, Passy, I did promise
It smells funny.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry. You'll get used to it. I did promise the gentleman we'll be meeting today that I'd have a team of 4, and I know none of you have worked together before, but he needs a team. He needs 4. I don't ask why. I don't ask questions. I'm just the middleman here. I'm here to provide him a service and provide you all with an opportunity to work.
You're not in the middle. You're over there.
She's got a point.
Can you guys pretend to be a team for a little bit, just so we can... I don't know. I know you've never worked together before. I'm sorry. But hopefully
Can we be
we'll...
the Wolverines?
You can be whatever you want. He'll be here at any moment, though. It's very important. He's very rich. I'm sure you'll all be rewarded extremely well. Just play along, would you?
Okay.
I'm going to tip him by flipping him a single copper coin. With a mildly disgruntled look on my face.
Thank you. I appreciate that, but don't worry, the rest of you. This is I'm being paid quite a lot from the man who's coming to see you today, and I don't want there to be any strange issues of conflict of interest or anything. So, anyways, why don't we just to make sure before he gets here, why don't we go around the room a little bit and just describe yourselves a little bit. Who are we? So you know each other and you can kind of pretend to be a team when he gets here. And so, can everybody describe how they look and just a few things about themselves, starting with Squid?
No, don't start with me.
Okay, starting with Passy.
I'm Passy.
Hi, Passy.
Hello.
It's nice to meet you, Passy.
What does Passy look like?
Passy is 5 nothing and 100 pounds,
All right.
and perpetually looks like she has no idea what's going on, and has no interest in finding out what's going on.
All right. How about Garfield next? We'll just go counterclockwise.
Garfield is a shorter human male who's about 5'4", weighs 150 pounds, wearing medium chain armor, fairly quiet and brooding, and he's wearing a face mask over his face. Not for disease, but for sorts.
All right.
That's counterclockwise.
That's what I said.
It's
Upside down clock.
backwards. Oh.
How about Chug?
Chug is he's a gnome about 5 feet tall, no facial hair. His hands and arms are maybe a little bit larger than that of the average gnome. He is in a set of fairly ordinary clothes, dungarees, a red and white striped shirt, suspenders, boots, and a pork pie hat, as well as his little cane. He is here standing in for his boss, Duetuum Civis.
What was that name?
His boss's name is Duetuum Civis. His name is Chug Villatil.
And two of you, not Passy, would know that Civis is one of the great economic houses of Eberron, and they primarily deal with, they're the House of Scribings. They write the papers, they create people's identification papers, all of that.
They do it to him.
They really do.
All right, now on to you, Squid.
Squid is medium height, blonde hair, perpetually jittery, like he's just had 5 or 6 energy drinks.
All right. I've given this description of Gary out a few times to some of you, but not to Passy yet, so I'll repeat it again. You can't see it from his token here, but Gary is a very round man from the shoulders down. He usually wears a top hat, though he's taken it off now that he's indoors at the moment. He has a fancy suit that is long down below his knees, and he just seems all around jolly. Not the kind of man you'd expect to be into crime. He looks kind of like a steampunk Dr. Eggman, but, you know, that's how it goes.
You say that like I wouldn't expect steampunk Dr. Eggman to be into crime.
Well, steampunk Dr. Eggman, but with this face.
Now that's a criminal mustache.
That's a good point. That's a good point. All right. Very well. Okay, so it's important you know about this fellow before he gets here, and as he says that, he's interrupted by the door opening.
Like that you can see the cursor just scoot him.
Yup. It's
Oh
great.
yeah, it's terrifying when you start seeing the cursor fly around when there's about to be a fight.
All right. Yes, hello, Anton. Here are the folks I gathered for you. Anton stands there, looks around a bit, and Gary says, I can have a seat fetched for you, if you wish. No, I don't think that'll be necessary, thank you. Anton says as he stands with his hands folded behind his back, looking over all of you. He appears to be wearing pretty wealthy clothes, and he does not appear to be armed or armored, but he has an air of confidence to him nonetheless, like at any moment he could take any of you in a fight. Completely not worried about being locked in a room with anyone here. So
We've
Ralphian
already
says,
drunk his ale, so really we're on the bottom foot.
Joke's on him, we're gonna smother him to death with our dead bodies.
Nah, he outnumbers us.
Dang it, you're right.
Well, I can tell all of you have at least significant enough confidence in this. Well, maybe minus you. He points to Squid, who's jittering. think I need to test you all before I give you such a task, but I'll explain myself a bit first. I had Gary gather you here together, and I came to this part of town, which I would never come to normally, because I need some business for the good of the realm done, but I need it done in a discreet way, and I need it done in a way from those who might not mind breaking a few laws along the way, those who might not mind getting their hands a bit dirty, but just trust me, it's for the good of the realm, and if you don't care about the good of the realm, I'll have plenty of money for you ready. And as he says that, he pulls one of his hands out from behind his back and just drops a sack onto the table, and it kind of spills over a little bit, and some platinum coins skitter across the table. Now,
Are you the left man?
am I the what?
Are you the left man?
Well,
He
he's
looks
on
at
the
Gary
left.
and says, "This is the kind of force you bring me."
He said he was the middle, and you're on the left.
I suppose that makes us the right men for the job. You've
I
come to the
high-five
right
him.
place, sir.
You know, I can't really argue with that, so we'll go with that. Yes, I'm the left man, and you all are the right. Men and women. Yes, sure, we'll go with that. Do you guys have a name for yourselves?
I'm Passy.
I mean, like, as a group.
Wolverines.
The Wolverines, very well. Okay.
Passy and the Wolverines. That's a nice name, too.
That's a band name right there.
Passy and the Wolverines. I see. Passy, are you the leader of this group then? If your name is so distinguished.
Yes?
All right. Good to know. I'll make sure that whenever we contact the group, we'll contact by you, Passy. I'll remember that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have messages sent to you. Garfield speaks in what language? Is that?
Sorry, that was Thieves' Cant, because it defaults to that.
So everyone else sees a bunch of jumble.
I mean, yeah. For God, there's an 8 in there.
It is cool. You can speak in any language that your character knows, and then other characters that know those languages can see it or not. And I can do the same thing with NPCs.
That's really cool.
Yeah. But I can read everything you guys say, because I'm the DM.
Yeah, but I'm just disappointed I don't get to see what it looks like to say booty in Celestial.
Curvaceous.
It's good. It's great. All right. Well, Garfield, Gary, could you just clear the place out for a minute? We're gonna need some space.
I watch carefully to see whether his hand goes to his knife or to his megaphone.
Roll me a perception check. His hands are just behind his back, so that's all you see.
He has very stealthy hands.
Yes, he probably has both a knife and a megaphone back there, for all you know.
My respect for him grows.
Great. He then grabs the pouch of coins from the table and it puts his hand back behind his back again. You don't hear him put it in anything, like a pouch or a pocket or anything. His hands just kind of go back to the position they're always in, and he just stands there. You hear Gary outside the window kind of clapping his hands and saying, like, all right, get out now. We're gonna need some space. You hear footsteps shuffling around, and the music stops that was being played. And then Gary just knocks on the window, opens it up. Anton, I think you're ready to go. And he walks away.
Just gets scooted
Yep.
into the darkness.
Yes, exactly. It's great.
Like a cane reached out and grabbed him by the throat and just
It's perfect.
I am 100% okay with that being how all NPCs exit
I
stage.
technically, I have another window open that I could use that doesn't show my cursor, but it's so much funnier to do this. All right.
I have a dumb question. How do you scroll? Like, my room is kind of in the upper right corner. And I don't know how to move.
Right click and drag.
Thank you.
Sure.
It's like with the scroll
That's
wheel.
not
You can
working, though.
immediately see everyone start wiggling as they do that.
Ah. All right.
When I do that, it doesn't work.
Hold right click and just move your mouse.
Yeah, I can follow instructions, Ferdinand.
Are you on a laptop?
Oh, you have to click on the image. You right click and move the map, not
There
the
you go.
actual.
Okay, thank you.
Good point.
And
Thank you,
sometimes it's a little
cousin-
slow with the
cousin,
overall map.
Yes.
Cousin Eric? What the heck's your name?
Yes, Eric.
Nice.
I guess I could write my name.
If it was backwards, it'd be Sire, spelled all cool.
Ooh.
You're wrong.
You are
No.
very wrong.
Key right.
If it was backwards, it'd be oh to tis.
All right. Anton looks all of you now and says, "Well, I've known Gary for quite some time. I don't always approve of his business, but I trust him, and he seems to trust you all. So I trust that you'll work together as a team, and you'll accomplish this task I have for you. But I need to make sure that you are physically capable of handling what I have for you. So you follow me out here. Gary has been nice enough to clear the bar for us, and I'd like to see how you all fight."
I vault over the table.
All right.
Hang.
My stubby
Hang.
little legs.
What?
Garfield goes
Can
to the
we-
window.
Okay.
No?
Yeah.
There's another door. You know what?
It's fine.
I right through the window.
Tuck and roll out.
He's
Yeah.
feeling a little drowsy, actually. He's not sure what.
Okay.
He's gonna have a sit
Well.
on this rug.
Well, Passy, are you and your folk ready to combat?
I'm already casting a spell on people.
Okay. All right. Very
I
well.
need to see how you fight. Fireball.
The hands that Anton had behind his back now come back out with a sword and a shield. Then that's
Did I get to finish my spell before he pulled weapons on us?
Yes, you finish your spell. That's fine.
Neat. Everybody gets aided.
How do I
So
Oh, thanks for the aids.
Passy is
Oh
full
boy.
of aids.
should we roll initiative?
Yes.
How do I add that, Ferdinand?
I don't know. I don't know this system. Leave me
So-
alone.
You open your character sheet with C, yeah? You can alter your hit points there.
Okay.
And you can change your maximum and minimum and all that, and add temp HP and all the fun things. All right.
Is there an initiative button on the character sheet?
There should be. So if everyone can just roll that, I'm going to be tracking that separately.
Okay.
So I'm not going to be using the initiative tracker in Foundry, but yeah, you can send me your numbers or
Great, I'm
roll them
just rolling
physically.
my
Why
dexterity
can't I
saving
click
throw.
initiative to roll initiative? What is this nonsense? What's up?
Hey,
Nice.
Hang on, I just need to figure out where dice live.
Dice boxes.
And as you guys are, just to describe this while you guys are getting rolls out, you guys walk out into the bar. The bar is now empty. Some of the chairs are kind of on the floor. There's some empty mugs here and there. Some of them are still half full. And Gary is behind the bar, just currently pouring himself a drink casually.
So, what did you want us to do in way of proving ourselves?
I did it.
Right. Well, you're gonna fight him, but we're rolling initiative.
I can't figure out how to roll initiative. I might be retarded.
I just rolled dexterity because it's the same thing. But I got a nat 1. Spassy does not know what fights is.
Rip.
at least it's in character.
I'm gonna make fucking initiative macro.
Yep.
But like, how do you actually?
Let's see how I format macros while she continues trying to figure it out. There we go. Ignore that.
uh,
How do I
yeah,
do it?
weird. My players in the other game do it fine. I don't know how they do it. But I guess if you have your D&D Beyond character sheet open there too, that should be fine too. If you want to roll it that way.
Yeah, it's /R D20.
Yeah.
Or whatever you really want.
So for now, your initiative is +4.
Do they have Beyond 20 installed?
They can if they want, but there we go. Squid got 4. Beyond 20 is a browser extension you can add if you wish that lets you do extra stuff.
Okay, but that said 12D0 +4.
It did.
It's a very powerful die.
I am a doctor, but
Alright, so we'll go with Squid as initiative 9 for now.
I'm not sure what a D0 is, but it's pretty cool. I got 12 of them.
yeah, right.
You have infinite D0s.
Alright,
Nice.
Garfield, you go first. Of course. We're gonna get used to hearing that.
Yeah, probably. We're supposed to fight him. That's the idea here.
That's what he asked for.
All right. I immediately draw my longbow and fire it twice at him.
Go ahead and make me some attacks.
Or wait, I don't have multi-attack yet. What the fuck am I talking about? Fire
Or
once.
an attack.
All right. Does that hit?
23 hits, yep.
All right. Do I get any sneak attack stuff? Well, here's my
You're not
attack.
hidden from him. Do you have advantage from going before him? From assassin?
Might. Still figuring this out. All right. I attack with if I have advantage. Now the surprise thing. He's probably not surprised because he's like.
He's not
egging us
surprised,
on.
but I think you have something that triggers when you go before him in initiative.
He hasn't taken a turn yet.
Right.
Yep, assassinate. And any. Oh, sorry. The surprise would be critical, so I have advantage for this.
Right.
So I guess I'll
So you would
reroll
get
it.
sneak attack.
Yeah.
Might as well reroll it to see if you get a 20.
I don't,
Okay.
but I got a 19. All right.
Alright, so total
that's-
of 17 damage.
No, just 11. I don't get a sneak attack.
You
That
do because you had
doesn't include
advantage
your
on the
sneak
attack.
Oh shit! Yeah. What the hell? Rogues are hard, guys.
Rogues are hard,
I've been playing
okay.
Rogues are bullshit, is what they are.
They're
I've been playing
fantastic.
warlocks for 5 years.
Alright,
I'll do then. Whoop. Oh, that window is shut.
oh, you know what?
I'll
Sure,
go.
I'll open it back up for you. I closed it for no
Hi.
reason, so. Give me an acrobatics check.
All right, and I'd like to hide from a bonus action because rogues can do that shit.
Rogues can do
man,
that.
I'm
Okay.
fine.
He just
So-
left.
You used, we'll say, you fall flat on the floor on the other side of the window. You catch just the tip of your toe on the windowsill. And you plop on the floor. So you're prone, but you still have
Oh, man.
like 10 feet of movement, I guess, if you want to get back up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll you know what? I'll lay flat, hide.
Okay, give me a stealth roll.
It says I have disadvantage even though I'm in medium armor, not heavy.
Some
Whoops.
medium armor does give you disadvantage.
Alright, I might have to change that out later, but for the moment. Yikes.
Yeah. You are.
I like the idea that you got to level 5 without ever noticing how clinky you are.
Yeah, scale mail is
Yeah.
disadvantage, unfortunately.
Okay. I'll swap it for leather.
That's
It's-
fine. I'll let you do that
it's
between
very-
sessions at some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can realize during this combat that your armor's a bit clinky. Maybe you need to go trade it in at the
He
market.
just got it.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
got it, exactly. It's
I
perfect.
just upgraded.
Alright. You feel pretty stealthy. You're sure he doesn't notice you, but you have no idea.
Alright.
All right, it is Anton's turn. He is going to, after seeing you go through the window, he'll look over there for a second, then decide it's not worth the trouble, so he'll come down to Chug. And he will swing his sword at you twice. That is a 25 to hit and a 23 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
And I just noticed my character sheet in Foundry does not have my proper armor class.
Rip.
Rippity rip rip. The 25 will still hit though.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to keep track of things in your D&D Beyond sheet too, that's fine. Or edit things in your Foundry sheet.
Yes.
Either way. However you guys want to track things. Alright, so both hit. This is going to be 11 damage on the first hit, and 6 damage on the second hit.
Chug staggers on top of the table. He was certainly not expecting that.
Alright.
Can't see how fucked up people are in this.
Nope. You can visually describe it. I could add that, but I didn't feel like it. Alright.
Need a general gauge of how much blood you just lost.
Chug, you're up.
Well, he was aiming a sling stone at Squid because he was under the impression this was a battle royale. That not being the case, or it might still be, he's gonna turn. He's gonna instead try to smack his patron in the head with his loaded sling.
Alright.
And I'm trying to figure out how to actually roll that. I don't see a button to do that, so I'll manually roll it out.
To roll what?
To roll an attack.
So if you look in the top left corner, there's Chug and then inventory, features, skills, things like that.
Yes.
If you hover over inventory, there's unarmed strike, flurry of blows, all sorts of things you can click.
Yes, and when I click it, it gives me a drop-down description. Oh, never mind. I can click on the little white face next to it. Cool.
Again with the white face.
That's what it is, Mr. Frodo.
It's just the default icon. Alright, 21 will
And then
hit.
multi-attack.
Yep. 17 will also hit.
I'm going to do bonus action flurry of blows.
Nine will not hit. 21 will hit. So that's 2 sling hits,
Alright.
1 fist hit.
Alright, now let me roll damage. And that'll be the end of my turn.
Alright, very good.
Trying to kick him in the chin with my knobby little knee.
Alright. He manages to deflect 1 blow with his shield, but everything else lands, and he looks a little bit taken aback by that. Squid, you're up.
Okay, so how did you say you got a description of the spell?
Sorry, what was the question? You kind of cut out there.
Sorry, how did you say you got a description of the spell to come up?
Description of a particular spell?
Yeah.
So if you open your character sheet and you go to your spell book,
Yeah.
you can click on things. Or if you
Well, I didn't click on things and accidentally do things.
fair enough. Yeah, you can click on things there. And then also in the spell list
Oh,
up top, I believe it brings up a description of the spell before you confirm casting it. And then
Okay.
if it has an AoE effect, it'll let you place it on the ground automatically, things like that.
Nice. Well,
Mm.
Squid was kind of lounging on the bare rug. He's gonna try to stagger to his feet and hold up the vial of mildly illegal narcotics as if toasting and say, "You're fat." And then try to chug the rest of it, but it's empty.
Okay. He'll roll a wisdom saving throw. He got a 20, so he succeeds.
I did so well.
So that's your action.
Squid's gonna give him a wink.
Is that your bonus action?
Yes.
Okay, insult him and then give him a wink. Very good. Any movement, Squid?
Well, he stood up.
Oh, good point. Okay. Passy, on to you.
How hurt does my friend and my enemy look?
Your enemy does not look very hurt yet. He's taken some hits, but he doesn't seem to be affected. How hurt does Chug look?
Chug is bleeding out of his nose, his rather large nose, and he's kind of staggering a bit as he's trying to maintain his footing on the wobbly table. The hand that should be up to guard is dropping slowly.
He's probably fine.
Probably.
He'll live.
Just gonna very timidly go, "Stop it!" and hold person him.
All right, another wisdom saving throw. That is a 12. He fails. So as he's sitting there engaged with Chug, ready to block more blows, ready to attack again, he just freezes in place.
And then I go hide underneath the table and cower.
Okay. Very good. Back up to you, Garfield.
Right. I am going to crawl to my feet and
Alright.
oops,
Acrobatics
go to
check,
the window
please.
again.
Sorry.
Normal rolling. This list is so hard. 19.
Alright.
Oh, this time.
This time
I'm
you're
not a
prepared.
whale.
You keep extra attention on the tip of your shoe, and you manage to pull it out of the way of the window.
I need a test to see if you guys are good. Flops through a window, calls him fat, wink, gets his ass hit, coward.
Bullshit. Quick draws a bow and then just belly flops through a window.
I am 100% sure he's bluffing.
All right, that's plenty of movement, and I will
Yeah.
again take a shot at him, which I believe has advantage with the sneak attacking. Or wait, it doesn't have advantage, but
It doesn't matter. There's a guy within 5 feet.
There's a
You
guy
still
within
get
5
sneak
feet,
attack.
Right.
and he is paralyzed, so it doesn't
Yes.
even matter if he can't see you.
oh, I forgot about the
So
paralysis.
he
because I was
ranged
reading
attack will
sneak
not
attack.
auto crit, but you do get advantage.
All right, I almost tried to pick up some dice, but they're like 3 feet from my hand.
It's too far.
All right, normal roll, correct?
You have advantage because he's paralyzed.
All right, I thought I heard that, but then I couldn't remember if I did.
17 will hit. Yep.
All right, roll damage. It does the sneak attack for me. Great, 13 damage.
Okay, very good.
Why am I not using sharpshooter? I think I have that. I'm dumb, guys.
Is that it for Garfield?
Can I hop the bar and hide behind it?
Let's see.
I'd
You
love
use
to end
15
another round
feet,
poorly.
5, 10. I think you're at the end of your movement, unless you have more than 30.
Just parkouring for no reason.
No, I got 30.
Parkour
Okay.
is its own.
So unfortunately, you're not going to be able to hop the bar. It doesn't look like there's anything for you to hide behind. So you can use your bonus action for something else if you want.
Oh,
Like
man.
dashing to hide behind the bar.
Yeah, you know what? I'm using my bonus action to dash just because I like it.
There we go. He's a very speedy boy. Okay.
Look at me running around. Pass turn.
It's now Anton's turn. He's going to repeat the saving throw against old person. That is a 17. What's your DC?
15.
15. Okay, so he's no longer paralyzed, but that's the end of his turn. Chug, you're up.
Alright, I've been winding up a hit. I'm gonna try to put it right between his eyes.
Okay,
And I think I figured out how rolling works now.
nice. There are shortcuts too. Like I think you can hold Control, Shift, Alt to do like advantage, disadvantage, stuff like that automatically.
Gotcha.
I always figured about
I'm
that.
going to
That
use
hits.
a key point, and I'm gonna make it a stunning strike
Okay, Constitution saving throw.
versus 14.
That is a 17, unfortunately.
Alright. But that will still hit, correct?
Yes.
Alright. I'm gonna make another attack.
Yep, that
Gonna
hits as well.
flurry of blows
Yep.
him.
Alrighty. That'll hit. That'll miss. So he manages to block one of your hits again, and all three of the rest of them get around his shield. He's
That's
very, very bad at blocking against that sling, it seems. Just kind of wraps around the edge of the shield and hits him in the face.
It's very good at that.
Alright, Squid, you're up.
I believe the lady said stop.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. That is a 13. He fails.
Nice.
I'm beginning to feel like he's not great at telling other people what to do. Or maybe
Anything
he's
else,
better
Squid?
at listening to other people.
I'm gonna wink at him with the other eye,
Okay.
just to mix things up.
Another bonus action. Passy, you're up.
I'm going to scamper out from under the table just long enough to cure wounds, and then go back under the table.
Perfect.
You don't belly flop through a window, you're really not doing it right.
Let's see. That's not adding my life cleric bullcrap, so that's an additional 3,
There you go.
so it's 8.
Chug's nose snaps back into place.
Is gnomish vitality stored in the nose?
It is indeed.
It hurts
Man.
as much going back into place as it did getting knocked out of it.
Oh, it does.
Alright.
And did my HP reset?
Hmm?
I had taken more than 5 damage, but I'm back up to full HP.
Where are you are you tracking your HP in D&D Beyond or on Foundry?
I was tracking it on Foundry.
Weird.
Mm,
You took, if I remember correctly earlier, it was less than 20 damage. I think it was like 6 and 11 or something. So,
I think
8.
I was up to 27.
Alright, there you go.
You also had a bonus 5 from aid.
Yeah. 8
Good
and
point,
5 doesn't... Yes. It does.
Well, aid increases your maximum as well. So it's
Gotcha.
it's not temp HP.
So you're at average health?
I am at 38 of 38 health right now, according to dnd.drowrin.com/game.
Okay. So you took 6 and 11, 17. Right, so that brought you down to
Math like that.
11, right? No, 21. Dirt math. Then you healed 8. So you're up to 29. And then you had 5 more max HP. So your max HP is...
It's max
43.
HP and current.
Yes. So you're up to 33 out of 43.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
Math better.
Math better. Alright. Garfield, you're up.
It looks like I can just take another shot using my sharpshooter feat to impose a -5 to hit but +10 to damage.
Okay.
Learning this thing so quickly. Rolling at advantage. Wait, he's not paralyzed.
He's not paralyzed
though.
anymore. Normal roll.
Touching my forehead. That's a 16.
16?
Because -5.
Right.
I don't know how to actually
Thank you.
use that.
I had already lost track of that by the time you said it. Okay.
See,
16
this
to
is
hit.
why...
Just barely hits.
Nice. Alright. So now I get to roll damage, and this is plus 10.
Okay. Plus sneak attack.
I think
Yeah.
that's in there.
He's
Yeah,
next
I rolled crap.
Oh, it is in there. Yep, so 11 plus 10, 21 damage. Very good.
Yeah.
At this point,
And
he's
then-
looking pretty hurt.
All right, and this time I swan dive over the bar and I hide behind the fat man.
Okay. Give me another acrobatics check. Oh, we'll make this one athletics. You're not trying to fit through a small space, actually. You're just trying to leap.
Aw, bummer.
I mean, I'll let you keep the
Well,
natural
that's
20
athletics,
and
it's
just add
22.
your athletics instead. So what? 22, you said?
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
22. That's plenty. You easily parkour over the bar, and yeah.
All right, and then this hiding for my bonus action.
Gary
Yeah,
doesn't
like
react at
blanky
all to
metal.
you leaping over the bar, by the way. And then you just disappear
Nice.
behind it, and nobody can see you. I'm pretty sure even Gary doesn't know you're there anymore. He's just drinking.
Nice. This is why you don't care if you have heavy armor on. Or loud armor on.
Alright. Then it gets back to Anton, and he holds up his sword and shield out to either side of him in a sort of surrendering position and says, "You're right. You've proven yourself at this point. Don't want to take this any farther. I think you're all strong enough for this, indeed." He's just kind of nurses the arrow in his shoulder a bit.
All you can see is like a shield from under a table go, "Did we win?"
I lean over and
think
give her
we
a
didn't
double
lose.
wink.
Yes, I'd say, well, I'm sure you'd want to call it a win. I'd call it a draw, but you know. Either way, I think you've proven yourself.
I poke my head out and whoop.
and an edgelord just appears out of nowhere.
Hey.
All kinds of people spawning in today.
I like how half of us ran and hid and then were declared the victors.
I can see why each of you have been so successful in your fields at this point. He gestures to Passy. You have quite powerful magic. Gestures to Chug. You, friend, are quite hard to block, and you do quite a bit of damage. And gestures to Squid. You are
I'm Squid. And he
persuasive.
bows.
Charming. We'll go with charming.
You hit under a table.
and then he looks to you, Garfield, and says, "You know, I lost track of you a few times there, which is probably a good thing. You'll be a great asset. I'm not sure what you really did there, but I'm sure all these arrows that just kind of appeared in my body have something to say about it. So, good job. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Gary, do you have any spare rooms? I'd like to rest up a bit after that." Gary is
Let's shoot him more.
puts down a drink on the counter and then looks up at the the situation, the blood on the floor and stuff. Says, "Yeah, we've got rooms. I'll clean up this mess too." Anton looks at you all again and says, "Well, suppose I should tell you what we're doing before I just run off. But do any of you need a rest?"
Passy is still hiding behind her shield.
I could use one.
I
Doing
snort
fine.
a glob of blood into the fireplace.
All right. Well, Gary will offer each of you a room if you need it for just, a quick hour to pat yourselves up, things like that, take a short rest. Unless anyone wants to pass on that. Okay. Well, we'll consider a short rest having been completed then for everyone. Anton comes back down with no arrows in him anymore, but you can see holes in his fancy clothes and bandages behind them. Things like that. And he's got some bruises starting to show up on him, especially on his face, from where Chug just beat him mercilessly with stones in a sling. Well, thank you for that. Feel much better now. How about you all? Do we have drinks over our conversation?
That would be delightful.
I went out.
All right. We'll say it's worn off by now.
Okay.
You were given a small dose.
To be clear, it is illegally mild, not mildly illegal.
That's a good point.
Apologies.
That's homeopathy.
I don't remember where I was sitting.
Oh, am I diving through this window? No, it's closed.
He already
You were
closed
at
it,
the
yeah.
top.
You thought about it for a hot second.
You know it. Just
After
perched
Garfield
on a
enters,
table
he-
like a cat.
Closes the door and locks it. Alright, well. As I mentioned, this is something I'm gonna have you do for the good of the realm. But again, just to reiterate, because we've all taken an hour, and it's been a hot minute. I need someone who's willing to do so without the burden of the law. How do you all feel about that? Just double checking.
La? What la?
Good man.
I think he means the law. You know what? Fuck, he's Irish now. I just can't do Asian.
I didn't know you were trying.
They told me to. I think he probably means the law of this city and the land, but I'm not overly concerned with that either.
I don't know what the laws are.
Perfect.
I'm gonna write no littering on a sheet of parchment paper, hold it up, and knowingly tear it in half.
And throw it forward.
Now that's
No,
where,
that's the weird
now,
part.
sir. That's where I draw the line. You must respect that one at least, please.
I pull up
Even
the
us
envelope in
criminals
my
have
pocket.
standards. Come on. You charming one. What do you feel about the law? Just double check. Want to
It's
hear you
only
say it?
illegal to get caught.
Okay. Very well.
Who the hell is Camera?
Who the hell is camera? Oh, that's the second window. It's not supposed to be showing its cursor. I guess it's broken. Great. I updated Foundry this weekend.
That's been there for a while.
That's so that when I stream the game, my players can't peek at the GM screen.
Haha.
Haha.
Oh,
I just threaten people with immediate character death.
Perfect.
that wouldn't stop me really.
Well, I also use the stream so that people who miss the session can come back and watch it later, because I actually let players miss my sessions. But
That's ridiculous.
I know.
You should just yell at them
Hey,
for it.
that's what happens when you run a 7-player session.
Without
That
killing
is
them off
entirely
screen.
fair.
Yeah, no, I don't do that shit. But either way, that's what camera
Sometimes
is.
you make them try
Now
to
you
kill
know.
us on screen.
You have peeked behind the curtain in the Wizard of Oz. Now you know my secrets.
No, I didn't. He was peeking his head around the front of the curtain, and I could see.
The camera blames who the camera wants to blame. All right.
All hail camera.
Camera is my assistant GM. All right.
Oh no, we've invented a new god.
You can make a religion out of this.
Hey.
So, here's the deal. The war's been over for a few years now. I have no idea what any of your experiences with it were. I'm sure you all either fought in it or were affected by it in some way or another. Doesn't matter to me. I just...
No.
Okay, well, to explain it then, since your leader doesn't know, this needs to be clear. There was a war. Yeah, you know about the war?
No.
Well, okay, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Just to be as detailed as possible. Are you from some other continent or something?
Maybe?
Either way, it's fine. You've proven yourself in combat. That's good enough for me. That's most of what you're going to be doing anyways. The war was massive and destructive, and I mean, it was probably a good thing that Galifar's not around anymore. I'd be careful who you say that to here in Throneport, but just I'm not usually around here. But
Is that like a port, but thrones show up instead of boats?
Hey, that's where we are right now.
Yes. And this war ended recently. About starts counting on his fingers. 5 or so years ago. Yeah, about 5 years ago, maybe a little less. And it's a lot of the soldiers out there still hold a bit of hostility. There's some bands of Warforged that they kept fighting. Maybe they never got the memo. I'm not really sure. Either way, to put it bluntly, you guys are going to be international janitors, just going around cleaning up all the shit, all the piece of trash, humans and robots and dwarves, whoever's out there that just wants to keep fighting, even though we're under a peace treaty.
That's not the most appealing analogy, I gotta say.
Well, I said I'd be blunt, and it's not the most glamorous job, but I feel like in all of your lines of work, it's probably not the most glamorous jobs you tend to start with, anyways.
Can you please make him talk like a Texan oil master, an oil tycoon, please?
He talks how he talks.
He's a pre-established character.
I just thought that would be great.
So
He's not one of the elves from my campaign.
So, and like I said, it's not particularly legal to be doing such. It's going to be a lot of,
Why isn't it legal to tell them to stop it?
Yeah, but we've tried that. I'm thinking more along the murder lines, that kind of thing.
We told you to stop it.
Yeah, well, I was just having you prove yourselves in combat to me and not kill me. So it worked.
If he is dead, he cannot give us money, you see.
Hey, there'll
And
be
if
lots.
we have no money, we cannot destroy evildoers.
I'm sure I could soothe your consciences with plenty of coin.
I'm just saying it worked. It might work again.
Well, you're certainly allowed to try, but know that if you supposedly convince someone and tell us that you convinced them to stop, and then they go on a rampage again, that's on you.
Why would they do that?
Honestly, most of them probably ain't right in the head. Especially them Warforged. Sorry to say it. I'm sure some of you were thinking it. I mean, they were born for war, right? It's all that's on their mind.
It's racist, though.
Yeah, that's why I hate to say it, but
You said it anyway.
Yeah, I did. You gonna do something about it? Do you want this money or not?
Southerner is just escalating.
I said this is a predefined character, you're right.
Do you have anything in the way of a timetable as to our
Well,
first?
see, I mean, I prefer to get started as soon as possible, and I prefer to keep this off books as much as possible, and just, operate under the assumption that everyone thinks you guys are just roving criminals. You take the blame for this, and I'll give you plenty of money, and we can go on our way, and hopefully you don't get caught. If you ever do get caught,
Aren't they the criminals?
Well, I mean, we're kind of fighting fire with fire here.
You see, we're only murdering people who have already murdered many evil people. No, they've murdered the good people, I think.
Well,
Doesn't that make us cops?
There's criminals, and then there's criminals.
you're kind of criminals, but you're kind of cops too. That's why it's better to just call you janitors, really.
Now, I noticed that you said we would be taking the blame for this. Now, I have no great and amazing love for this city, but I do feel like we must discuss hazard pay at this
Oh,
at this
indeed.
point.
There'll be plenty of hazard pay, and actually, you shouldn't worry too much. Most of your work won't be in this city at all. I came here because I
lovely.
wanted some of the best criminals. I figured, this place is ripe with criminals. Since I know Gary, we're all buddies.
He is a good criminal.
He is a good criminal, yes. He kind of stumbles over saying that.
Why wouldn't the
Yes.
criminals that you hire just join the criminals that you want them to kill? Because if we just took your money and then we joined the bad guys, you couldn't do anything, and then there'd be more bad guys.
Well, I just hire more
I-
criminals. It'd be fine.
I do feel like if Squid and Passy both joined the efforts in telling you to stop it for long enough, I could probably beat you to death and take all of your money. Not that I want to, but it is a good and reasonable question. Why did you trust us enough to bring us here and lock the door?
You
If we
should have just
outframed us-
got
If I'm being honest with you, in that last combat, I was holding back. I was fighting basically with my hands tied behind my back. Not literally, just metaphorically, you see. But
it was almost literally.
yes, it was almost literally. You're right. But I will say, if I were to show my true strength against you all, I'm confident I could do some real damage. But my intention wasn't to kill any of you or even to seriously injure any of you. I need you for this job. So all I did was attack you so I could see your strengths.
How much is he full of it?
Roll me an insight check. Seems pretty confident to you.
Oh, so he's
Yeah.
just an idiot. That's okay. He's an idiot with a lot of money.
That's
the
my
one
favorite
saving
kind.
grace Passy has is knowing when she's being bullshitted. So I should probably roll that too.
Go for it. Allow it.
That's the only way she manages to not constantly do bad things.
So the slightly higher roll there, Passy does feel like he at least thinks he's telling the truth. He does have some confidence to him, and he definitely feels like he was holding back in that combat. You're not sure if he's actually full of shit on that or not, if he's actually strong or not, but you can tell that he at least thinks he's very strong.
That's good enough. He probably is.
Yes, and to answer your question, I trust that I can lock myself in this room with you, because if you seriously tried to kill me, I don't think you'd succeed. I only need you to do this for me, because I'm a bit tied up in the political situation, you see, and I can't be caught doing this under any circumstance.
But I suppose it's better that you turn to us than to necromancy.
Yes, well, you'll probably be killing some necromancers out there, if that helps you feel any better.
Oh, lovely.
All sorts of filth.
Well,
So what part of this was illegal?
Well, see, the necromancy isn't strictly illegal in Karnath. That's probably where you'd be going, but it's the Karnathi soldiers that are still terrorizing that kind of the problem.
And what have we in the way of business account?
Well, I'll give you some money up front to start this and help you guys get well supplied for this. Well, I hesitate to call it an adventure, since really, like I said, you'll be violent janitors, but, you know.
I'd also like to clarify, we may need passage access, this kind of...
Oh, I was getting to that, don't you worry.
Okay.
In fact, your passage will be handled by your first task, but we'll get to that.
Alright, and what is it you're offering us in terms of compensation? I'm sure Gary mentioned it, but I've forgotten.
Well, we'll start with an initial payment, sort of a forward payment of 100 platinum each. That's a sign of my goodwill to you all, and hopefully it'll help you be extra successful with a little bit more money lining your pockets to buy yourselves more equipment or buy services or travel as needed, etc. And then we'll discuss from there how much you'll get for each kill you make. But we'll say for the first task that I have for you, well, I guess it would be the second task I have for you, since the first task is securing your passage. The second task I have for you, we'll set it at 200 platinum apiece if you are successful.
You should buy handcuffs
We can buy handcuffs, Passy.
and mops.
We can buy mops.
You
I
can
know
buy.
a guy with good mops.
This is Throneport. You can buy all sorts of shit here. Honestly, you might have a harder time finding a mop than drugs.
I hold
But-
up some drugs.
But I'm sure it can be arranged. McGarry might even have a spare if you really need a mop that badly.
Wait. You said we were gonna clean.
I think he
Yes.
meant metaphorically, dear leader.
No, it's a good point. I mean, if you use the mop as like a symbol in your journey, I'm sure people will start to know the mop criminals. What were you
That'll be
again?
the banner.
Passy and the werewolves, was
Jesus
it?
Christ!
With the mop.
There were so many bodies. There was so much meat. The only thing that was clean in the room was the mop.
Passy and the werewolves, the mopped Avengers, something like that. I don't know. You can workshop it. Yeah.
Yes.
But mop might be good for covering our tracks if we're trying to deal with people who perhaps have good standing in their communities.
Yeah, yes, I'm sure mop will come in very handy. Yeah, I'm sure. Anyways, do you all agree to this task, or well, series of tasks, really?
I did want to ask, what's our mop budget?
Your budget is the money I'm giving you up front right now. You guys don't get per
Specifically
diem
the
on
mop
this.
budget.
You get payment, and then you can
Should we
use that
keep
payment
track
for
of
church.
business expenses and just invoice you?
No, I want no books at all. No books. Do not even think about books while you're buying things. I mean, you can buy books,
What if
but
we buy
don't.
Thank goodness none of us are wizards. All right, well, I'm willing to accept that rate of payment, at least for the less significant targets. How about the rest of you?
I'm down.
Okay.
All right, so how are we getting passage and who are we killing?
Your first task is, yes, to secure passage. And I have something hopefully exciting for all of you, especially those of you with more of the thieving persuasion. Which I'm sure is all of you in one way or another, at least at some point. See, there is a new, smaller brand of airship being delivered to the docks here. It's meant more for speedy transportation for couriers and the like.
Is it a throne?
No, it's not. It's not a throne, but you could put a throne on it if you wish.
Do we have a throne budget?
No. You have the money I give you, and if you want to spend that on a throne, you can.
I bet there's lots of thrones here.
There's picture Passy
I mean,
presiding over everything,
this-
sitting
there's-
on a throne.
There's definitely thrones here, but they're probably not for sale. They're up in the keep, and I'm sure the wardens would have something to say about that.
Are they not at the port?
Generally not, no.
We'll give you a tour, Passy.
They
You
should
will see
change
what
the
there
name.
is to be seen of ports and thrones in Throneport.
Okay.
Anyway, you all are to steal this airship, yeah? That's the plan. And then you can just fly that wherever you want. Border Patrol can't catch you in the air. At least not very easily.
Can we just buy it with all our money?
I mean, if you've got more money I don't know about, then why are you accepting this task from me?
Why do you need us to steal this thing?
I just think it could be easier for you to travel that way. I don't need it. If you guys want to get around some other way, that's fine by me. Might be more difficult.
I see. Who currently owns it? We wouldn't happen to be doing double duty by taking it out of the hands of someone who's using it for more nefarious purposes. Or,
That
you
would-
know, a warforged.
That would be House the Randar. They have all the airships. They invented them. They have the patent on them. All that, you know. Marked House's business. I mean, if anything, you might be doing House Orion a favor, since they don't take kindly on House Thurendar encroaching on their transportation business, but I mean, I wouldn't really call that the filth of the world.
Good enough.
Are you suggesting we take this airship while it's in the air?
No, it's at the port. It's currently being delivered here. It's just on the back of the boat.
Why wouldn't they fly it here?
Because it doesn't have a pilot. I'm trusting one of you will just kind of figure it out.
How hard could it be?
None of your plans sound good.
Well,
Don't
see,
worry, we'll improvise.
I'm not the planning type. I'm just the type with a lot of money.
I assure you, we will take care of it, one way or another.
Why
Sorry?
didn't you just hire a pilot who owns a boat?
If you guys want to hire a pilot with your money, you can do that.
Why didn't you do that? Why did you hire a bunch
'Cause-
of criminals?
I want it kept off the books, and I want you guys to do it.
Pilots are all goody two-shoes pass, so you can't trust them.
You ask a lot of questions. You ask a lot of questions of the man with the money.
Your plan is like cheese.
Well, do you have a better plan?
We could just ask them to stop.
You could,
Stop having a airship?
you know what? If you want to try that, you can do that. But there won't be any more payment incoming if you guys don't, successfully start killing the filth that I need killed.
I think it's probably not unrealistic that one of us could drive an airship.
I can drive it. Don't
I
worry.
really don't know much about the airship, so I hope so.
Are you particularly aligned with one of the houses, or what?
Nah.
All right. Well, I suppose it's off to steal an airship. It's a big continent. Probably good for us to have an attack vehicle.
You won't miss it down at the port. Well, I mean, it probably won't be an attack vehicle so much, but it'll get you place to place for sure. I hear this one's just built for speed, and it's made light. Doesn't really carry much cargo.
I
Relatively
think
new
I'm
thing.
not taking monk levels to leap off the airship and land safely.
Yeah, it doesn't have, as far as I know, like I said, I don't know much about these airships, but I don't think many of them that are made these days are well armed. During the war, yeah, there's lots of bombs being dropped, but these days they're mostly just transportation.
You can just drop arrows off the side. You'll probably kill people down below.
I don't know how bows work, so I can't argue against that. But probably
That brings new context to him just thinking that the arrows appeared in his back earlier. It's just no concept of how bows work.
if I'm being honest with you, that's part of the reason I was holding back in that combat. I don't really know how swords work either. I was just kind of trying it out. It was fun. I might try to do that
He
more.
was
in the future.
holding arrows in his back, is what he was doing.
I'm something of an expert on aerodynamics, and I can tell you it probably wouldn't work super well.
Aerodynamics or aerodynamics?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Skillet would have shot this motherfucker in the face by now.
I thought it was beautiful.
He's not a child, though.
You guys can
Garfield's
certainly
getting ready
try.
to shoot the rest of you in the face, dithering around asking stupid questions. We're getting paid buku bucks to steal shit.
Hey, I won't stop you guys. I won't railroad you if you really want to attack this guy. You can do it. I've got plans.
Passy doesn't attack things. What are you, nuts?
I don't
I'm
have
ready
enough
to leave.
dynamite.
So, have we reached an agreement then?
I think I have.
Very
I
well.
do believe.
Okay, I guess.
You the charming one?
Wink.
Very well. So,
Left wing or right
to
wing?
keep this off the
That's wink.
books
It also says wink.
as much as possible, just send messages to Gary wherever you are, and he'll get the messages along to me. I don't want any direct communication between us. And, well, I'm sure several of you already know how to get in contact with him, but I've had to answer a bunch of questions for your fearless leader here. So, just in any town you're in where there's a kind of shadier looking bar, just ask to send a message to the Devilish Raven here that we're in, and it'll find its way here.
Should we encode it at all?
If you want.
Will you pay extra for it being encoded?
No.
Okay.
I'm totally gonna just sending spell this guy directly.
If you know Thieves' Cant, you can use some of that. Gary knows it.
They can't do what?
They can't be understood by me or anyone.
I see.
You might notice that I have a lot of money, but I really don't know what's going on.
Passy has 8 intelligence, and she knows he's a dumbass.
So, do we have a deal then? You guys are gonna
Yes.
be going? Okay, then I'll finally unlock this door for you all. Gary, can I have another ale, please?
You can have mine that's been sitting here for over an hour because it smelled funny.
Gary
That's how ale smells, Passy.
Gary kind of like stumbles to the window and like spills the ale a little bit as he puts it through the window and then shuts it hastily. Very well. I hope our business is productive.
Well, I think it will be.
All right. What?
Where is? Do we know where the airship dock is? That's
So,
an obvious thing.
yes, I'll bring you guys to... Ba-da-da-da. Here is a
I know
map.
which wiki you got this image off of.
Yep. I only make new maps if I have to. Alright, so you guys are here in the Brillish zone, probably this building, like right here. The port is down here in what is, aptly named the Port District. And, he just said it was on the back of a ship. Probably won't, you kind of gather it probably won't be hard to spot. Pretty unique looking airship on the back of a boat, so that's where it is.
Lovely.
So not every walk across town involves an ambush.
We haven't walked across town yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys just left the bar so far, so who knows? Ooh, mystery.
I'm gonna twirl my sling in a way that it looks like I'm twirling a cane.
By twirling it?
Yes.
You can make those two things similar.
Make me a dexterity check, just flat dexterity check, Chug. Yeah, it looks like a cane. You guys are impressed.
Yeah.
What
Nice.
mystical item?
Did he already pay us, or were we getting paid afterward?
Yes, you guys each get 100 platinum to start.
Oh, that's the upfront.
That's the upfront.
Damn.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, Chug immediately has some platinum burning a hole in his pocket.
Sure.
So what should we spend some of this here money on?
I think we should hire a pilot.
Oh, we gotta go behind the pilot's back. You can't trust pilots, Passy. They're too honest. They're a bunch of do-gooders. We'd have to kidnap him and then keep him our prisoner for the rest of his life, and that's not a line I want to cross on a Tuesday.
What day is it?
Saturday.
Well, we don't have Tuesdays.
No one knows what he meant.
It
by
actually
Tuesday.
is Zol right now, which is the Eberron equivalent of a Tuesday.
Nice.
Funnily enough.
Nice.
It's Tuesday, isn't it?
This block right here looks like it's upside down and yelling.
Maybe we should investigate it.
Nice.
Oh yes, poking your nose into things in Crime Town will go great.
Listen, it's an RPG. We're not leaving this town until we've checked every single house.
True.
We're gonna die.
And make sure to exhaust all the combinatorial possibilities of dialogue options.
We're gonna do 8,000 side quests before we do the first main quest.
Gotta make sure we take our.
Go to Helgen.
our faction experience and 100 experience bursts, so
Riverwood,
we can
rather.
see all of the various combinations.
Indeed.
Yeah,
So what are we going to need for this job, you think?
A plane.
Yeah.
No, we're going to get one of those. Unless you mean the tool that we use to do woodworking. I already have one of those.
Do you?
Can't we just rent it?
I think the idea is that we don't. Because if we were to rent it, then we would be people other than ourselves. Because they probably don't let ruffians rent fancy sports airships. Even if we had the money, that means we got it illegally, doesn't it? And you want your brand to be associated with a bunch of rapscallions like Garfield and Squid. They are very effective people. I've seen it, but they are not the sort of people I would rent out my airship to if I had one.
Well, it's a good thing you don't have one.
Not
If
for
you
long.
had one, you'd be a pilot, and then you'd hate you.
If you had one, we wouldn't have to go rent an airship.
Yes.
If we rent the airship, we could just kind of dine and dash and leave with it.
But then they would know who had it, and they would probably send bounty hunters after us.
I will give them my fake name.
They know how to get past fake names around here.
Do they?
Probably. I know how to get past them. I've beaten many men with fake names.
How do you beat someone with a fake name?
I write it on a stick. And then
Ah,
I
I
beat
see.
them with it.
Well, does anybody here feel confident that they could drive an airship?
Yes.
I
Let's do
can.
it.
Absolutely.
All right. I think the pilot conversation doesn't need to happen then.
I have
Let's,
driven my mule for many, many months. It cannot be much harder to steer an airship. They don't even have brains.
Passy tripped several times trying to figure out how her legs work.
Does anybody but Passy want to make an intelligence check to see if they know anything about airships? You may or may not.
Or with my extraordinarily average intelligence.
What did you get?
Uh,
Oh, you haven't rolled yet.
nah. I was tabbing away from my notes. I don't know why I'm taking notes.
Okay. Yeah, Chug is pretty confident that he could do it. Garfield, on the other hand, you've probably seen some war in your life. You've seen, the tail end of... Squid probably too, then. You've seen some airships at work. And
Right.
you know that literally only somebody from House Thorendar can pilot an airship by magic.
We may need to convert somebody from House Lorandar in terms of someone who could actually drive an airship.
Does it have to be driven by magic?
We could take
Eric
bets to
knows,
it.
yeah.
What if we cast fly on it? We may need to kidnap a wizard, which I suppose is just back to kidnapping again.
I get the sense fly might not be exactly what we're looking for here.
You're right. Why would we need an airship if we could fly?
Exactly.
Perhaps we
Do
will
I
need to
know
go to
any
a
criminal pilots? Sorry, I interrupted.
I was just gonna say the same thing. So you go ahead.
DM,
Huh?
do I know any criminal airship pilots?
Very niche market.
Roll for crime.
It is the
The
secret
baby
ingredient.
driver.
Yeah, just give me an intelligence check again, sure. See who you
Oh,
can
heck.
remember having come across.
It just gets better.
Just gets better. Chug may as well, if you wish.
All right.
If only the people from the house know how to fly it, wouldn't you just see if one of them is a criminal?
They're all criminals in some way.
Do they all know how to fly?
It's
So, Uh, they're pretty much
Why
all
the
of
fuck
that
did they send an airship?
because they're gonna make it work. It's fine. The airship docks are for the galleons that actually drive cargo and such, but they can just land wherever. This one especially is pretty small and not meant for cargo. So Chuck, you would know that yes, there is a house around our presence here, like there is for pretty much every Dragonmarked house on Corvair. They all want a tiny piece of the Throneport pie, so you could find them in the Thranian zone. And Garfield, you would have experience with several members of the house, indeed. You've seen some of them around Gary's bar, so you might be able to identify them by sight at least.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a small discussion as to that fact?
I share this information.
So I suppose the question is, at that point, are we attempting to hire a pilot for long-term piloting purposes? Wouldn't
That's
this
what
be-
I've been saying.
Yes, but this would be tantamount to asking a person to betray their own house. So
It wouldn't
I
be
feel like
betraying if we just owned an airship.
I don't know
But
so much about
we-
tantamount. It would literally be that, yeah.
Well, yes. Unless we could convince them they were somehow doing the right thing. I suppose I could drop paperwork ordering that they help us with this engineering test that lasts several years and happens to involve murder. But I highly doubt that an effective pilot would believe that.
Well,
I'll
they
just-
wouldn't be murdering.
We should just ask nicely.
Well, that will
I-
probably be our first step, Passy, but we need a good mock of pilot first.
I do like this idea of forging documents.
Yes, it is very fun. I enjoy doing it whenever possible.
What a nerd.
Chug is indeed a nerd, can confirm.
And nerd.
Just spends hours every night practicing his calligraphy and like reading up on the latest lawyer speak.
I make entire
that
reams
sounds
of fake
really
documents
boring.
and send them to random law firms for no good reason. Terrible things happen in the underworld by accident.
Who would spend their time doing that kind of thing? That's
A
Like-
really dedicated troll.
Like the American Psycho love of different business cards.
Exactly.
Muscle nerd.
So, so
what's our very first order of business? Are we going to go have a party? Are we going to get a base of operations? Or are we just gonna trudge into the middle of the city and try to find ourselves a pilot? I'm
Well,
ready
having
to go.
a party was on the
anywhere.
table.
Well, there's ideally at any party we are all on the table dancing, and a party is always on the table. There are tables everywhere. Endless opportunity.
You bring up several good points.
was fair. So perhaps we go back inside of the Devilish Raven and take some time in there to get ourselves ready for this operation.
So we walk outside ready to do some stuff and turn around and say nope. We're
This
gonna
like
have a
to
party
think
we'll
instead.
go out at night.
We walked
I went
several
outside
streets
once,
towards
it
the
was
dock,
horrible.
said we need a pilot, started walking several streets to the zone where we could get a pilot, and then let's go home.
Said no. We're gonna party on the table. Back to the bar.
This is going just as well as I hoped it would.
I think we might be going back to the devil. Are there any other inns that we know of and potentially like more than the crime place?
I still don't know
So-
why we're going back.
Did we
So
see
there's
any
a pair
pilots?
several
forged
of you
documents.
several of you have worked with Gary in the past, and you kind of have like not an exclusivity contract, so to say, but it's bad for business if you shop around with who you do this kind of work with. So you know some other inns in the area, but Gary is like your man.
I have a room, but it's in a place none of them can afford, so I
Hmm.
just don't
Hey.
say anything.
We all have 100 platinum.
Yeah, but like
Yeah, you guys
you're
are
all
loaded.
new money. You're
We're all
citizens
what
and
money?
me.
He knows a pilot.
Do we even know why we need paper?
You can use paper for all kinds of things.
Well,
I have some right here. What do you want to use it for?
that's my question.
All right, well, when you come up with something, we'll figure it out.
You just produce a stack of forged documents.
9 pieces of blank paper. Exactly 9.
There were 10. We
Yeah, but
drew
I tore
littering on
up
one of them.
earlier. Yes.
We should just ask nicely.
We have to find a pilot before you ask him nicely.
So why are we going home?
So we can ask Gary if he knows a pilot.
Did anyone
the
say
reason?
we were gonna do that?
Well, I
Yes.
thought we were going to take time to forge documents to take them to House Larendar.
Well, he can still
To-
do that.
I wonder if that person who was supposed to show up and didn't was the pilot.
Oh, Lord. Probably was.
Do we have to find a dead body and take all of his documents and forge his identity? I feel like that's what we need to do.
That sounds easier than whatever's going on.
It's just multiple steps.
I'm gonna turn around, walk back in. I'm gonna ask Gary about the guy who didn't show up.
Okay, so you're several
Yep.
streets away at the moment.
Right there.
It might
I'm
be a
gonna
bit of a
turn around
turnaround.
I'm gonna
We
I'm going
really
to-
were doing that.
You just
I'm
walk
gonna
in a
run at
big circle.
70 feet
I said
around.
I
I
back
turned
into the park.
around.
I turn 360 degrees and walk away.
I'm going to turn around, but I'm going to take the entire time to get back there turning around. Just really slow.
Okay.
Lovely.
It's a brilliant display of coordination to be able to manage that. All right. So, you guys arrive back at the Devilish Raven.
We got lost.
No, we
We
didn't.
didn't get
Gary,
lost.
Gary, that the gentleman who did not show up. Can you tell us about him? We wish to check upon him. Maybe see if. Well, of course, we won't give away any information that we're not. That he's not cleared with, as he was a bit of a slob who didn't make it to the meeting. But we're interested as to him, his identity, his
They
whereabouts.
said he's probably dead.
He probably is. You know
Yeah.
this as well as I, Gary.
Stefan was he was supposed to be here. I figured this would be a problem.
Yes. Who is Stefan? I don't know Stefan.
Yeah, well, probably none of you really knew each other yet. He's just another one of you.
See,
Where does he live?
He lives at the House Larendar enclave off to the west of here.
yeah.
Okay,
Probably wasn't about
bye.
that then.
Why do you?
No, we
I
might
mean, I
be
thought-
friends
Throw
behind
Gary
him.
another copper.
From like
Yeah,
20
yeah.
feet away, just
Yeah.
I whip it at him with my sling.
Make me an attack roll. To see if it lands near him, or he'll make a dexterity check to catch it.
fuck.
So he doesn't even move. You just fling it directly into his hand, and it just kind of stays there.
His hand wasn't even open.
Yeah, it just goes right between the
Between his
fingers.
fingers
Yeah,
into his closed
exactly.
fist.
Then he opens his
The other
hands.
thing I forgot to mention is it's in the back of his hands.
Well, I suppose I am a little more confident in your abilities after seeing that. That's good. Very good. Okay.
I'm gonna pull a squid and wink
If I
at him.
can, he's gone now, so I can be a little more honest with you. Stefan was supposed to be here, and I'm a little nervous about this whole thing because my reputation's on the line. You guys are confident that you can do what he asks, yeah?
No,
Every fiber of my body.
Okay.
his plan was stupid.
Then come up with a better plan, please. I need him to be.
did.
Okay, then do that. He Stefan was supposed to be here. Passy, you're taking his place. It seems I'm not one to challenge fate on that kind of thing. I think you showed up at the right place at the right time. There's probably some sort of magic involved. I'm just gonna let it fly. So, you can find Stefan if you still need him, unless he's dead. Which, since he didn't show up, he might be. Although, Stefan, honestly, is a bit, inconsistent. So,
Is there
he
any
might
place
just
we
be
should maybe go
drunk.
look for him?
He might just be drunk in a ditch somewhere. Hopefully not. And hopefully he's alive. But, yeah. Good luck.
He should have got drunk here. There's ale.
But not lemonade.
Hmm.
No, sorry, no lemonade. I can make the
Thank you,
ale
Gary.
taste like lemonade if you want. Pulls out a wand.
Oh. I wish I'd known that. Thank you, Gary. Have a good day.
Leave unnecessarily disgruntled.
So are we not forging documents here?
You're
I slap a piece of parchment down on one of the tables.
You're
my
forging what
contract.
now? Just making sure you guys know how to
No.
do that properly, yeah.
It seems like
Sir,
he's
I
kind of a
have
nerd.
forged many documents in my time. I forged the health inspector's note that you found on your door 2 months ago. Was that not the most convincing health inspector's note for a city that does not employ health inspectors?
Roll me deception or persuasion, your check. Your call on whether or not Chuck actually did that.
Well, he means it, but unfortunately his deception is much higher.
It's fine. He's convinced. Wow, that really was something. Okay, very well.
It kept ending every sentence that mentioned the health inspection department with, which is totally real.
He wrote it in Gnomish, so he just thought it was legalese.
Yes, exactly. All the legalese is written in Gnomish around here.
So I'm writing up a warrant to inspect. What was the name of the guy who didn't show up?
Stefan.
Stefan. Yes, I'm writing up a warrant for a warden to inspect Stefan's quarters.
Okay.
I have an actual warden's badge that I'm gonna use as the stamp on it.
Okay. Roll me. You're proficient with forgery kit. So I'll say intelligence and proficiency. If you have a skill similar to that, that's convenient.
All right.
I'm gonna guidance him,
Okay.
Thank you.
because he looks like he's trying real hard to do something, and I want to help, and somehow I know this helps.
Is that 1d4?
Yes.
Does the bard want to help? Hint, hint.
I will
never
help.
boarded. I don't
Like,
know how I can help.
Can I just take the help action?
Are you
have
proficient? Are you
proficiency in
proficient
forgery?
with forgery? Yeah.
Do you just, like,
I might be.
start writing from the other side? Or...
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yes.
Like
Disguise
2
kit,
people
poisonous
hacking from
kit,
opposite ends of the
thieves kit.
keyboard.
Yeah, unfortunately, I
Pistols.
think not proficient with it, so I'm not going to be able to help. But
Bummer. I'll just point
since,
stuff out.
since I know you haven't barded before, bards get what's called Bardic Inspiration. It lets you throw a d8 at anybody doing an ability check.
Does that? Where would I find that?
Under your features,
Actions. Or that.
Oh,
there's features, Bardic Inspiration, and then it's a bonus action to do that.
oh.
Which you can then
So it can just
throw
be
people.
done. Oh, it can be used 3 times a day.
3 times per short rest.
Oh, okay, nice.
You
It's-
spam that in combat when you know you're gonna get a short rest afterwards.
It's a great bonus action because it lets people do attacks better and ability checks better and all sorts of stuff.
If I take my time, can I have a situational bonus to the roll?
What?
If you take your
I
time,
think the Bardist inspiration was just... Hey, make sure to call him cute a few times.
Yes,
It works on
exactly.
Chug.
Right wink in there.
All right. Sure, if you're being extra careful, we'll say it takes a few hours. It'll probably get you closer to the end of the day here. And yeah, I'll give you a +2 on it.
Thank you. All right, here
Sure.
we go, boys.
Very good. Chug, you finish writing the document, and as soon as your pen lifts off the paper, you completely forget you even forged it. Like, it's so realistic and it's so convincing that you're sure that you just stole this from somebody.
Oh, guys, look what I had all along. This was a waste of time. Sorry about that.
Everyone thinks he's being cheeky about it. Like, "Oh, I had this the whole time, guys. Look how good it is." He has just no fucking idea.
Right. At this
He's
point,
gonna-
You did have it the whole time.
it's like, are you folks almost done so I can open up my bar again? It's getting close to late in the evening, you know. It's
Why did you keep it closed this whole
because you're
time?
doing shit in my bar I don't want anyone else to see.
Big
Understandable.
room over there.
That's
Like,
my
we could
office.
have gone in there.
Then why did we do it here?
Because
Because
you
there's a
just
fireplace
started,
here.
and I didn't want to stop you.
You
That's
really
being
need to practice
polite.
your boundaries.
You're very nice.
I'm sorry
Thank
to
you.
bother you one more time, Gary. Can I have a room for a good 10 minutes? You don't happen to have a mirror, do you?
A mirror.
Oh lord.
What?
I
Take
have
the bar,
one. There's not any in any
Please.
of the rooms I have upstairs, but my personal room has a mirror. What do you?
May
what
I
do
use
you?
it?
You want me to leave you alone in my personal room for 10 minutes, or can I be there with you?
Do you want to be there with him, really?
Well, I don't want him to go through any of my things.
How much can I trust you, Gary?
He's very nice.
I'll admit, Chuck, I haven't worked with you before very much, but I've worked with several of your companions here. Well, new companions. I'm sure they can vouch for me.
I'm gonna glance at Garfield.
I
Yeah.
vouch for him.
You.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not really sure what you're trying to do in his
Oh, I
room
do.
with a mirror.
All right, I'll
Um,
follow after him.
Okay. You'll hop over the bar because there's no easy way, just hopping over it.
Ball
Oh,
cover.
he doesn't have to make an acrobatics check.
I'm mime toasting it as he goes.
I'll make an acrobatic.
It's his bar. He's used to it. Yeah, you're fine.
Uh,
You hop over the bar and then back over again to follow him. Love
Yes.
it. Perfect.
tempting fate.
All right. He locks the door behind you and then opens up this door. And on the wall here is a mirror.
This part's
Oh.
really exciting for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm.
All Chug is doing is donning his warden's disguise.
Okay.
Does he need to get completely naked first?
The answer
hope
might
so.
surprise you, but I'm not going to tell you. So when he when he comes back out, he's wearing his warden's outfit.
Okay. Make me a roll with your disguise kit. So, I'll say that's probably more artistic than so it's like wisdom and proficiency. And this is just
I'm
to
gonna
see. I'm
send
assuming
you
you have the
DM real quick.
you have the disguise prepared. You're just making sure it's applied properly and stuff, real quick. So it's a pretty low DC. Internet. Oh.
I really want to just like steal the candles off these tables. But recognize that's not really what we're
How
here
well
to do.
disguised am I?
Yeah, you look like a warden.
Lovely.
Photoshop it.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Feel like there's probably more things for you to steal behind the bar than just the candles on the tables.
Behind the bar. Why would I go there?
So out comes Chug and Gary, who looks impressed.
Oh no.
Not what I meant, but yes, I Yes, he looks
my.
impressed. You may take that how you wish.
He sure did.
I mean, at least he doesn't look traumatized.
So,
Are we ready to go, boys?
Chug is now wearing pretty much silver and gold color scheme clothes with bits of armor here and there, though he's not super heavily armored. It just, it looks convincing that he looks like a member of House Deneath, which runs the wardens here in town, keeping track of the throne.
Chug, if you need somebody to watch next time, keep Squid in mind.
You scare me, Squid, but I will keep you in mind. Perhaps you will keep me honest.
We'll say yes.
Now can I open my bar up? I might say, probably best not to have a warden in here when I do so.
Under the authority of the throne, you may open your bar.
Thank you.
Is it the
I
port
tap
throne?
him gently on each shoulder.
So why are you dressed up like this?
Because we are going to search Stefan's apartments. We are going to
What?
find his corpse and take his
Ah.
belongings as he would have wanted.
We should have just
Oh.
not and asked if he wanted to come with us.
But he'll be dead, so we won't be able to.
If he's
Uh-oh.
dead, why do you need a disguise?
Because they will not be allowing people into his rooms unless they have proper clearance.
What
It
if
is
we
an
tell
offensive
them that
place.
he's dead?
They'll be trying to cover it up so they can take his precious belongings.
You know, this seems like a bad idea, but I don't have a better one, so I suppose we will go search his apartment while you're dressed as a Fed.
I'm sorry, what are we trying to accomplish in his apartment?
I'm not really sure, but
We will take
he
his
seems
pilot's
really
license
into
and
it.
his belongings.
Did we establish he had a pilot's license?
No,
I
but if
don't
he
think
doesn't,
it's
we'll
about
find
the
something to take.
license.
We
You
still
need,
can't fly.
Gary speaks up now. You need a pilot for something? Stefan probably should come in handy for that, yeah. I mean, I don't think he has much training in that persuasion, but I believe he's got the fancy dragon mark thing. He'll probably handle it. It's born
Chug
born
feels
natural for him.
entirely vindicated.
Good idea. All right, Chug, you were right. Let's go find this Stefan de Larandar and hire him. Do I know this guy already?
You don't know him by name, but since you have seen a few people coming to and from House Larandar, and you've seen the same people here, you've seen people here in House Larandar colors, things like that.
Yeah.
And I suppose only one of them was dragon marked. So now that you know that information, you would know who it is. Yes.
All right.
I feel like when the one person he absolutely needed for his plan didn't show up, he probably shouldn't have tried to beat us up and go along with it anyway.
He just assumed
I
one of
don't
you was the
think he knew.
pilot. He
He
assumed
didn't
you guys
seem
could
like
figure
that.
it out.
Yeah.
He doesn't know
He
shit
seemed
about
like the
airships.
smartest knife.
Maybe he just doesn't know how airships work.
He was very clear that he doesn't.
He said he didn't, and we all said we didn't, and that was sort of the problem.
Guys, I have this crazy fan theory that maybe he doesn't know much of what he's doing.
It's a good thing he has us.
That's just a theory. A game
Yes.
theory.
Good thing I'm the leader now.
I think
Passy
you're
and the
masquerading
werewolves.
as the leader.
I
Passy
told her
and-
she
Or whatever you
No,
were
she's
called.
the leader.
Yeah, Passy and the mop-wielding werewolves. That's you guys.
Passy
that
and the
was-
Or
mop
Wolverines.
wolves.
Wolverines, right. Yeah.
Oh, dude, the fireplace flickers.
Yeah, it does.
Does. I noticed that earlier. Very cool. And new.
Yeah. Fancy Foundry updates.
I can't physically move myself into the fireplace.
Nope. I made
Yeah,
sure
that
of
would be a roll for yeeting.
Did Passy just walk up and try to yeet herself into the fire?
that.
No.
I think yes.
Yeah, I saw it happen.
Yeah, I was there.
This place is baby proofed, don't worry. You know, for all of the criminal
Let's
babies
get
that,
outside.
that come through. Oops, I didn't mean to move Chug.
I mean,
Just casually shunts Chug across the room.
Yes, Chug gets a strange urge to move towards the fireplace. I don't know.
He does
Roll
have
a
those.
wisdom save. Alright, so DM, I think we go find his apartment, his house,
Are we
Okay.
given directions to where it is?
sewer drain. We'll ask someone on the way.
Why don't we
at
ask
least-
Gary?
Both Chug and Garfield, I mentioned earlier, know where the place is at least.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh, we know where he lives.
Yes.
Oh, double good. Yeah, let's go.
Alright.
so we
Cool.
had this guy's address and we still went back to the bar.
Yes. Well, I mean, technically, you didn't know Stefan
made
was a member of
both
House the
documents.
Rendar until he went back to the bar, to be fair.
Yeah. Hold up, is this map rotate? No, north is north.
Yeah.
Why is the Karnath zone in the west, the wrong side?
Because it's not relative to the map at all. It's just kind of wherever they took political power. Or it's really more cultural than anything. There's not really technically political power in this area, but
Guys, this place is Berlin. But small.
yeah, sure. There weren't many walls put up, but yeah, it's a multicultural area.
Sounds good. Alright, so where does he live?
Just off the Thrain zone here, like on the edge.
Alright. Cool. We go there.
Yes.
All right. And as you guys leave the bar, it's now a little bit later in the evening. Some of the lanterns along the streets have been lit at this point, and the sky is dark above you. But thanks to the magical lanterns present everywhere around here, it's never really dark, and so you're able to find your way there easily. It doesn't take you very long, since both Chug and Garfield can lead the way. Do either of you fight about who takes the lead?
Chug will strut around, but if Garfield tries to take the lead, he's not going to stop him.
Nope. Garfield's skulking along.
Squid walks at the rear.
Skulking at the front of the line.
Okay.
Perfect.
How
Slip
the
the
rest of
shadows.
how the rest of you going to present yourselves as we try to get in? Who
I'm
will
gonna
you be?
ask nicely.
Yes, quite. Wait. Yes. So you will come with me then, Passy.
I'm just
Where
gonna
anyone
knock
else-
and say, hi, is Steven home?
I feel like that is counterthetical to our goals, Passy.
Is it?
They tend to have butlers at these kinds of places. They do not tend to simply respond to questions like that. You normally need to give them a little bit of paper, a business card, something.
Why
like
don't
that.
you forge
We
it?
don't have one of those.
He was supposed to be a place and he didn't go a place.
We went in the other direction. Yes, if in a place like this, they respect the privacy of their occupants, Passy. If he was supposed to be at a place and did not, that is his business and not ours, and they will not give him a message. That's why we have this here writ. We're going to search because something terrible may have happened. Now they may resist the wardens, but I find it unlikely. We have a warrant. Those things have more power than simply the request of a warden.
What if you just hide right next to the door, and then when they say no to me, you just step in the way? Like, oh no, we were with the wardens the whole time.
Perhaps he's
Does
missed
Passy
several
think
important
there's a way-
engagements.
Does Passy think there's a chance that they'll refuse?
He says there is.
They will more than likely refuse. And let us say there's a 10% chance they will refuse. Even then, that is a 10% chance that we may not use the warrant. They will certainly not. They'll certainly think something is strange. They will pay more attention than they might otherwise.
I think you just want to really use your paper thingy.
I really want to use my paper.
I'm sure we can convince them. Don't worry about it.
Can you look sad, Squid? Like your friend is dead?
Why?
Because we can argue better that you're going to identify the body if it really comes to that. But you need to look sad in the first place.
Oh, I can look sad. I can look sad like nobody's business. I give him an incredibly sad face.
How sad does Squid look?
I produce several tears.
Give me a charisma roll, Squid.
Performance?
Or performance, if you're proficient, sure.
Am I? I can't tell. It doesn't have the little check mark next to it, so
And
probably
you're not.
That's
What was-
tragic for a bard.
What was the other one?
Just charisma. Black charisma.
Although if you're a bard, don't you have an extra proficiency
Yes.
bonus half thing?
So, yeah.
Oh my god, windows are popping up. This normal?
Probably.
A lot of you can pop things out too if you want them popped out, like roll 20. But okay, very nice.
That's what she said.
Yeah, Squid looks incredibly sad. Like you've never seen somebody more sad before.
Chug is impressed.
You hear a little violin. You're not sure where it's coming from.
Are you playing a violin, Squid?
You're not sure where it's coming
I can
from.
see you playing a violin, Squid. It is a very sad violin.
You don't
What?
see it at all.
Yeah. Roll me perception. Sure, Chug.
No, I have a question.
Nope.
What bardic instrument did you buy again?
Not a violin.
Perfect. I'll allow
I'm
it.
very, very good with
Squid
whatever
has
it
a-
was I chose. I can make it sound like a violin.
Squid has a tiny violin. It's canon.
The tiny violin of the bards.
Yes.
Alright. I suppose it'll work. Passy, would you please promise me that you will not ask questions first? You can ask them later, please, but I would like to try my thing first. I spent a really long time on it, and I'm very proud of it. Perhaps you could go around the side and ask them completely unrelated questions very nicely. I suppose you could get our dinner for us. I bet they have very valuable foods in this place. Will you
It
get me
just
cakes,
seems
Passy?
mean.
What?
Okay, use your paper thingy.
Chug is somewhat satisfied. Are we at the front door?
Sure.
We've been arguing in front of the house.
No. We'll say you literally end the discussion, and conveniently you end up right in front of the front door. We'll say you're half a block away in case some of you want to peel off.
Okay. Garfield, are you going to skulk in the shadows and watch our back? I don't really know
sort
what
of
your
thought
modus
that
operandi is.
I mean, if I was on my own, I'd be breaking in.
Would you like to
but,
try that in parallel with us?
Why not?
Because if our thing works, you'll get arrested unrelated for no reason.
If you're that concerned, I'll just go with you.
I'm not concerned. Right, well, I'm gonna turn. I'm going to give a sharp and regal rap on the front door with my knuckles. Which have
Sure.
tiny little, like, brass plates on them.
A
Because
s-
that's how the wardens roll.
All right. A slide in the door opens up, And two eyes peer out. Who are you, and what are you doing here?
Good evening, sir. I'm Warden Villatib. I'm afraid I come with warrant to search the dwelling of a certain person who dwells in this residence. One Stefan. And I hold up the warrant with its seal showing.
Okay.
My own little beady eyes showing through the slit.
The eyes in the door have like kind of like he reaches up a hand and like pulls down a lens over his eye to inspect it closely. And he fails to roll higher than you did, so he believes it. Yes, very good. And Passy is with you, yes?
Yes.
It might be shorter than the door.
Probably.
Wait, you're shorter.
Probably.
Probably. He's looking
They're
down.
both the same height.
It's a slanted slit. It kind of points down to accommodate gnomes.
Now, make me a deception check to see if you can pass yourself off as a warden in disguise.
That's very forward thinking of them.
It's definitely clear that you're here on official business, but I have to say that, my conscience just won't let you in, as it is, you see. You look like you probably just stole that off of a real warden. The door, but while they say this, the door creaks open, and they just hold their hand out.
I hand the warrant over.
The hand that drops the warrant and is still held out.
I look at my money pouch. I look at the hand. I put my hand on my weapons. Then I put 2 gold pieces in the hand.
The hand just kind of moves up and down a little bit, and then moves closer to you.
I glance over at Squid. I glance over at Passy. I step back.
The hand moves the other two of you.
I'm trying to find my money.
Hi, I'm not a warden.
I drop a gold.
Yes, that's been established. Yes.
Now
Okay.
he says he's a warden. I'm not a warden. I just want to see him.
Yeah.
Can I come see Stefan?
Make a persuasion check. See, the way things work around here, you seem like you're from out of town. I need a little something to, make my conscience feel better in this situation, you see.
You was supposed to meet me somewhere and didn't.
I don't need to know your business. Just give me a piece of gold.
Why?
I did, man.
He's talking to Passy now.
Okay. I nudge her. Gold woman.
Oh, come
In a
now, the
sad
crown
voice.
has generously donated for this one already. You hold them both in your hands, sir.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Fuck. My companion's manners. Here, I'm gonna give him 1 platinum and just push them past.
Very good. That covers the rudeness as well. You may enter. I step aside from the door. And once you're inside the door, you see that this was a half-elf in House of the Randar colors. As you'd expect.
Do we know where in this compound he lives?
You do not.
Might you point us in the right direction for Stefan's apartment?
Well, with such a generous donation, yes, right this way.
Thank you very
Close
much.
the door and lock it, and then walks up a staircase in the back of the room. And after several flights of stairs, you guys see some different hallways leading in different places. It looks just, it's like a college dorm, basically. It's not particularly the most clean thing ever, and by the spacing of the doors, you can't imagine that the rooms themselves are very large. But you eventually come to one, and this half-elf stops the door, and when you get close to it, it smells really strongly of wine from outside the door.
Just
Well,
like a college dorm.
Here's the place. I'll be back down by the door if you need me.
Thank you very much. Pound, pound, pound on the door.
Bit of time passes, no response.
Is it open?
If you try to turn the knob a little bit, no, it seems locked.
Oh, that would be my job. I try to pick the lock
All
and
right.
go in. Does it sound like there is anyone moving inside? I should ask.
Perception check, please.
All right. +3. Old familiar.
No, I mean, really the only thing you notice right now is you're not even sure how much wine it would take to get this smell in the air so strongly. It's distracting.
Yeah. I will then try to pick it open.
All right. Thieves' tools check, please. Dexterity and proficiency.
Right. Oh, that's weird. I can't click on them. What is this? Maybe I can in Foundry.
Yeah, D&D Beyond doesn't have skills assigned as a thing. Because there's technically no real rules in D&D for using tools. Isn't that great?
Yep. You can just be proficient in them or have them.
Yeah, and then you just assign ability scores to them. Okay. Doesn't take you very long at all. It doesn't seem to be a particularly strong lock. It's just, something to keep out people who wouldn't even bother to try and pick it. And so, in just a few seconds, you manage to pick it with your abilities.
Right.
And upon opening the door, there's just wine on the floor. Just huge puddle of wine, and you see a figure passed out in the puddle. Several bottles on the floor, just some of them broken, some of them tilted over. One of them still half full.
Poor boy drowned in his wine.
Does it look dead?
He appears to be breathing. You can tell that from the distance.
Is Squid still incredibly sad?
That's up
I
to
didn't
Squid.
tell you not to be.
Stefan, no! He runs over.
Good boy.
Is he face up or face down?
He's kind of on his side.
We roll him over onto his back and see if he's breathing.
The left half of him that was in the puddle of wine is just completely soaked red.
Stefan, no, not like this.
Is he visibly breathing?
Yes.
He's fine.
This gives me a brilliant alchemical idea. I'm going to scoop up some of the wine in a vial. I'm going to later market it as the blood of a drowned man.
Would you like to scoop up the vial or take some wine from the still half full bottle?
I have a vial. I will scoop some up from the floor.
Okay.
Is it that authentic flavor?
Make
He
me
doesn't count if
a...
it's from the bottle.
I have alchemist supplies proficient. Can I use that?
Sure, dexterity check with proficiency from alchemy to see if you can somehow use the tool to grab liquid from the floor. In any reasonable amount. Sure, we'll say you get like a small vial, like 2/3 full with wine, with floor wine.
Thank you. The best wine. It's like table wine. But better.
Is he drunk?
He's currently unconscious, so hard to tell.
I think so.
I'm gonna lesser restoration him.
Okay.
You guys remember that first scene in Artemis Fowl?
Yes.
That's what I think is about to happen.
Oh, I hope so. I'm gonna
So
get
it-
more reagents.
Yeah.
It carries poison, which is what being drunk is.
Yeah, he immediately looks very sweaty, but it smells like it just smells like rubbing alcohol in here. Like even now overpowering the wine, as the alcohol is just forced out of his system through his pores from the effects of the spell.
Oh. Does it come out as like a steam?
He just looks super sweaty. Like, yeah, but it would evaporate, I guess, pretty quickly.
Now that's what you need to get in a vial.
I'm waiting for it to rain.
It just condensates on the ceiling and you collect it.
Wake up.
He kind of sputters a bit, opens his eyes.
Can you fly?
What are you doing in my room?
We have work to do. It's time to get going.
Who are you? He kind of reaches down to his waist for a dagger.
I'm
Hey,
Passy.
you know me.
Hold on,
I
sorry,
guess
I'm still a bit
sitting
sleepy
next to him,
here.
crinkling his head.
Ugh, smells awful in here.
That's you.
Great. Good, yes. Yes, you. I've seen you. At, the Devilish Raven, yes?
Case, yeah.
Yes. I don't know your name, but I've seen you. Why are you here? If you're from the Devilish Raven, is Gary asking about my tab again?
No, actually, your tab's been taken care of. Remember the job Gary was going to hire you to do?
Job. Gary's gonna hire me. Oh! Yep. Uh-huh. Totally blew that,
The
didn't
one
I?
that...
That's today, isn't it?
yes.
That's why you're here?
This is your second chance because we need somebody with a dragon mark to complete it, and yours is of the correct house.
Ah, I see. Well, I suppose it's my lucky day then. Can I ask, why am I not hungover?
I fixed it.
Oh, well, thank you. Job. What job? I know he had an opportunity for me, is what he said, but
Do you got a skyboat? We need a skyboat.
I'm clearly
You know-
still a warden. Does that make him at all guarded about what he's saying?
He... You know what? I'll roll for it. He hasn't noticed you yet. No, he can put together, even in this state, he rolled a natural 19. That, considering
Wow,
the company...
I am really terrible at being a warden.
Considering the company you're keeping, especially, it's kind of a giveaway. Yeah, you need me to skyboat?
Skyboat.
Airship.
Oh.
You need to
See,
We need
captain
you to
the
fly.
skyboat.
Never tried that, but I'm sure I could try.
We'll teach you everything you need to know.
Oh, perfect. Sounds good. Now, what's the pay for this?
Here is your cut. I hand him 10 gold. And we'll be probably making a lot more down the line.
10 gold.
They said they'd pay us more later, and the guy at the door took a bunch of money,
Okay. Now, let's see.
and we wouldn't have had to give him that money if you'd just gone to the place.
So, here's the problem, alright? So, you want me to fly your boat for you, whatever, right? Yeah. Gonna need some wine on the trip. I'll steady my hands so I can actually fly the thing, right? That sounds about right. Yeah, that sounds like something.
I see nothing wrong with this.
Yes. So this gold is gonna be one bottle of wine. I'm gonna need a lot more than that to even. That's just my per diem for like one day.
Son, you are going to need to temper your expectations as to wine. If that is one bottle of wine, you know nothing of wine. There are so many more wines. The world can
I
show
assure you,
son.
I know quite a lot about wine. Pretty familiar.
You don't know when to stop, apparently.
I'll give you that.
Well, perhaps we can figure something out.
Okay, so my per diem will just have to include quite a lot of booze, and then I'm gonna need pay on top of that.
You wouldn't buy your own wine?
Listen, you need someone who can fly for you and look the other way, right? It seems like I'm the one with the bargaining power here.
Yes, you have some chips here.
Well, you didn't go to the thing. I think that's gonna make the guy who hires criminals really mad at you.
That's not really an issue here. How about a salary of, given the danger we're working with, 5 more gold per day up top your drinks budget? And perhaps bonuses on particular events.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh shit, I suck at these. Yeah, I really suck at these, but that's okay. Faye's not in this party.
Yeah, no 36 persuasion rolls.
Mm.
Make it 10. We've got a deal.
How do the rest of you feel about this?
Are you intending to charge us for the days you sit in a warehouse and drink and don't fly?
Of course.
Or...
It's opportunity cost, you see.
What if we just don't? What if we just don't?
Well, then I
You
can
probably
just
could
get
hire
back to what
someone
I
else.
love doing instead.
It seems like you're not very motivated here.
Ah.
You understand
You...
that there will be...
I don't really remember last time I was motivated for anything, so like, be more specific.
Sir, how much do you like your knees and elbows?
Pretty fond of them.
I don't like them very much. They're a little sharp for my liking.
Well, I take great offense to that.
Wait, Squid will
Fair
kind of
enough.
stroke his hair and say,
It's now 12 per day, just for that comment.
you want
Oh.
to agree to his terms.
I'm gonna break one of his knees.
Okay, first
I'm gonna stop him.
first suggestion was called out. Okay, he'll make
I'm
a save.
lovingly stroking his hair. Please don't break his knees at the same time. It'll ruin the moment.
He unfortunately rolled a natural 15. So he is not affected by suggestion. Now, the breaking of the knees attempts to be happened, and
So who's trying to restrain him?
and Garfield tries to stop you. So, let's say, Garfield, are you okay with considering this a grapple?
Yes. I was thinking more knock his arm away whenever as he's trying to.
Okay, then make me
Do whatever.
an attack roll then with.
Sure. An arm strike.
Sure, perfect.
That will not hit.
So unfortunately, Chug is a bit too fast for you. Chug, what do you do?
I'm going to make a sling attack on his knee.
Okay, make me an attack
Or
roll.
rather, I'm gonna make it on him and hope it hits the knee.
The called shot.
And I'm going to use his inspiration for this.
Oh, God.
That'll hit.
Hopefully he doesn't need his knees to pilot.
It'd be pretty expensive to buy him a whole set of new bones. It's like $100.
I
So
don't
you
think he's
hear
gonna need his knee
a
to
loud crack before he can respond at all. He's just like, "Good God! Oh!"
What is
I'm gonna hit him again.
what is 2d20 kh?
Keep highest.
Highest.
Kilohertz.
What?
That's a lot of kilohertz right there.
It rolls 2d20s and keeps the highest one.
That one will not hit, unfortunately. He's ready for you this time.
Okay.
And the second sling comes up, and he puts an arm out and just kind of catches the sling, like
I'm
the
gonna
soft
flurry
part
of
of
blows
it.
him and stomp on his knee.
Go for it.
Freaking.
This guy hates knees.
I hate.
I mean,
his
I
knees.
hate knees, but I don't just go around breaking them if they're other people's.
What have knees ever done to you two?
And I'm
Don't
not seeing him
ask.
on my character sheet, so flurry of blows. Yeah, there we go.
That'll hit. That'll miss. I'm imagining you just jump into the air and land with both feet, and only one foot lands on him.
Yes.
So he's now like on the floor, like clutching his leg.
Well, he was on the
I'm
floor
gonna
anyway.
try to
You
stunning
guys
strike
are
him.
trying to hire me, yes?
He will need to make a Constitution saving throw versus my stunning strike.
He's stunned.
14.
Yep, he's stunned.
All right.
Rolled a 7.
I'm just gonna squat in the corner now. and
His
look at him
face,
until
since
wakes
he
back
rolled
up.
over trying to grab his knee, his face is now down in the wine. There's just bubbles coming up from either side of his face.
I roll him back over.
He's frozen, locked with his leg clutched to his chest, and he's just staring at the ceiling.
Did you kill him?
I don't think so.
A few
I think I
seconds
just surprised
later,
him a little bit.
he starts sputtering the wine up out of his throat. Okay, you've made your point. Roll me intimidation, please, Chug.
Can I help by reiterating this guy that hired criminals is not happy?
Sure, roll to advantage.
Lots of people hire criminals to do stuff.
Yeah, but he's looking at the criminals that got hired and being like, they won't do any criminal things to me.
Maybe.
When you tell a mustachioed villain that you're gonna show up for your meeting, you show up for your meeting.
No, you
Especially
don't.
when the
You
boys have to
sneak
pay
around
good
and
money
kill
to
'em.
get in to see you.
Chug, you can re-roll that if you want, since you were given advantage.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, we're paying him pennies.
All right. We'll go back to the 10 per day.
We can't divide 10 by 4. Make it 8.
Make me a persuasion check. With advantage, since he's already very intimidated.
That's some good logic right there. 10 divided by 4 isn't a real number.
All right. 8 gold per day, and you cover my booze.
I will do it personally.
Oh,
Oh,
Thank
all
you.
right. Okay, one more element to this contract. My accent
Did you
just
break
went
your
Russian.
knee so hard
Jesus.
you developed an accent?
Yes,
He's Ivor now.
he.
I
I
wasn't gonna
slipped into
comment on
Ivor. He
It's
slipped
great,
into
though.
Ivor. He just wants his knee fixed as part of this deal.
I'm afraid that's up to Passy. I could make it look like your knee's fixed.
Sorry for
I'm
making
sure
work
Passy
for you,
won't
Passy.
mind. You are a member of the team now.
I'll stroke his hair again, but completely unnecessarily.
You get wine on your hand.
Is his knee better, though?
If you want to cast a spell that'll make his knee better, but no.
Does Cure Wounds not make his knee better?
You gotta
Oh, I
click
see
the
that.
things.
Gotcha.
No, the other thing.
What's the other thing?
I got you. You click the healing button in chat. Yeah, his knee.
There's a healing button?
In chat, you see cure wounds, right?
Huh?
And there's a word that says healing under it.
Oh, I see. And then that rolls the.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I clicked it for you there, but that's what that does.
Sorry.
Oh,
Fact,
it's all good.
that
It's a new
word is a
thing.
button.
It's a button. All right.
That's what she said.
Well, sounds like we have a deal.
Yes, it does. Friend,
So-
is there a way we can get into contact with you more easily than giving your doormen large quantities of money?
Is he not coming with us?
I have a feeling
I
he's
don't-
gonna
I
skedaddle
think
his way
he's
back
coming
in
with
here at
us.
some point.
I don't have a lot of things to pack. I figured I'd just come with you. Are you guys not ready for me yet?
Oh, we're ready for you.
Do you
we'll be
have a
ready for
skyboat?
you
I
very
don't
soon.
have one. No. No.
Why did you think you did have one? Yes, part of our plan is to steal the one that's arrived in town most recently, the schooner,
Ah,
or whatever it is.
yes, I see. Well, I can't help you much with that. But I assume you'll need someone to pilot out of the dock once you're trying to steal it, so I suppose I'll have to tag along.
Yes.
That is absolutely correct.
Do you mind giving me a moment to just... I'll do this tomorrow. It's late. You get changed, take a bath.
How suspicious does he sound?
Roll
How
insight.
much is he planning on running out of town?
Roll insight.
Running might be hard.
Yeah. Okay, crawl out of town.
Yeah, you pretty much believe him. I mean, he's definitely not based on you guys beating the shit out of him just a second ago. Seems like he's not very happily agreeing to this, but he's agreed to it.
How does Passy feel about that?
Alright.
Passy sees into his soul. Passy, you figure out that, I mean, it's not exactly hard to tell, but his whole opportunity cost thing was bullshit, and he's just a bum who lives off House Lorendar and just drinks whenever he can. So, this is really his best opportunity to make any kind of money at all, or get any kind of alcohol covered for him. So you're pretty sure that now that the deal's been signed, he'll follow along with it just because he'll get at least something out of it.
You're a butt, and drinking will never make you happy.
Well, I
Just paying him
beg to
like
differ.
a year's salary for some people every day.
I just stare directly into his soul when I say that.
Make an intimidation check, if you wish.
He's gonna
Alright.
lower his own price.
He just kind of he kind of like sinks into the puddle of wine a little bit more. I know. But listen, my lifestyle is my
If
business.
you want, I can be your sponsor and help you drink less.
How did she just
I'm-
pop into existence, but she knows what
With
Alcoholics
respect,
Anonymous is?
I'm joining you folks so that I can drink more. If you want me to drink less, I can just stay here.
We'll start a little bit at a time.
Sure we will.
I'm
It's
gonna
okay.
require one more piece of information, Stefan. I need everything you have on your doorman.
While we're talking information, I know you, but I don't know your name. He points to Garfield, and I don't know any of the rest of you at all.
I'm Passy. These are Wolverines.
I see. Do you just go by Wolverines and numbers, or do you have names?
We are Passy and the Wolverines.
Okay, but what's your name? What should I call you?
You can call me Jack.
Jack.
I don't know whether this is fitting or ironic, but you can call me Chug.
Chug. Yes.
Yes,
I-
it's a name you know very well, it seems.
I do now.
He means
And-
good
and
drink.
He looks,
didn't get that
Squid,
at all.
he looks up at you, stroking his hair. It's like, and you?
I'm Squid.
For the love of God, say you can call me Daddy.
No. I'll just say you can call me Squid.
Squid Daddy.
Squid?
No.
Are those your real names? Squid? Chug? I get
No.
Jack. Well, very well. I'll call you Squid and Jack. I'll call you Jack either way. That sounds real enough. I'll use Squid, Passy, and Chug. Yes.
We'll start at 2 bottles a day. Gently wean you off of it.
Well, that's more than I usually get. So, deal.
Are you trying to kill him?
He can't be an alcoholic if he's dead.
That's true.
Well, so
Flawless
Off
plan.
that weed. Here's
So-
my friend Snoop Dogg. We're gonna work you down.
tomorrow then, I'll clean up this mess, and get myself ready.
No, seriously though, who is your doorman?
He robbed us.
They have shifts. I don't. Which day of the week is it?
I think it's Tuesday, but Tuesday doesn't exist.
What's
Soft, I
what's a
think was the name of the
Tuesday?
day.
I don't know.
Let's see. He starts counting his fingers. Today's Zol. Yeah. So that's
Zol.
Mark.
One
Mark's
month
at the
off.
door.
Mark.
I don't really.
Mark
I mean,
knows the
name.
job well.
I'd assume Mark Lorendar. I honestly I know his name because he occasionally greets me.
Are you
Thank you.
related?
Does he greet you with his name?
Mark Miranda!
Well, yes, you could distant relatives. The house. He's not
It's
marked though.
DJ
That's why
Khaled.
that's why I got the less important job.
Well, tell him he's a butt for not letting you see your friends.
I'll keep that in mind if I see him before we leave.
Do it now.
When I am... Listen, half of me was covered in wine when you entered, and now all of me is... You really sure this is the best time?
You mean to tell me he's never seen you like this before?
Fair point. He gets up. Treads out of the room, tracking
Full of excuses, sir.
footprints of wine in the hallway.
Pat his ass on the way out.
He is going to attempt to dodge that, which he fails to do. He kind of tries to scoot and just kind of slips a little bit on his slippery shoes.
I am very good at it.
With no concept of stealing, I'm going to try to search his room for wine bottles that have wine in them
Okay,
to
so
take to give him later.
roll an investigation check.
I'd like to go through his belongings and try to find forms and identifications and stuffs.
Okay. Passy, you find a half-empty bottle on the floor and a bunch of empty bottles, some of them broken, some of them not. You don't see any other bottles that have, wine left in them besides that half-empty one.
I'm gonna go in his kitchen and make a sandwich. Kinda hungry.
You assume he has a kitchen.
Yes.
This is
Does he
like
not?
this is like a 5x8 room with a single bed.
He has no food.
Goodness, this is sadder than I thought.
It is.
I almost, mind you.
We're
failed
saving
to-
him.
No, it's not an apartment. He's part of this whole family building thing. They have their food
It
elsewhere.
has been called an apartment, so I was confused.
He called it a dorm room.
Yeah, I call it an apartment because I'm a dunce.
Does he have
Also, I
a sweet
make
poster on
assumptions.
the wall?
Make me a perception check. No.
He
Because
might, but I
wine
just don't
sitting
He
know.
has some
Double.
posters, just none of them are sweet.
His taste is shit.
And you were looking through his belongings for papers and things?
Yes.
Investigation check. Yeah, you find his identification papers tucked away.
I'm
They
gonna
identify
take
him
a-
as a member of House Thorandar, and they have just a magically imprinted image of his face on top.
I'm gonna take down a copy of his signature and whatever minuscule markings I can. I certainly can't touch the magical picture though.
You should
Okay.
probably hold on to the documents.
I mean, he's gonna. No, he probably won't notice they're missing. I am gonna take them.
Okay.
I'll give him the copy later.
You have, you have identification papers for Stefan de Larandar. So that is
Probably less likely to run off if we've got all his papers.
D'. I'll just spell it in chat.
Thank you.
You hear some squidgy trudging back through the hallway as he returns. It's like, well, still here. I thought we were going to meet tomorrow.
So we're staying here.
Where?
We'll get cozy.
I don't think we can even all. I don't think there's enough room for us all to even lay down on the floor in here.
But we're your good friends, and you've invited us over. Surely you can find quarters for us.
It
in
smells
this
bad in
place.
here.
I'm inclined to think we should probably invite him over to where we're staying.
Be that way. That is the smarter choice, I suppose. Are you always going to be the voice of reason, getting in the way of our fun to make the plan go more effectively?
When Chug says that, Stefan crosses his arms and kind of leans towards Chug and looks over at Garfield as well, and yeah, really, are you?
That's what I've been trying to do, but my head hurts from trying to think real hard.
I relate.
Well, I suppose your head wouldn't be hurting from the alcohol.
No, it usually does, but no, this time I think it's just too much thinking.
Gonna be honest, I'm getting a little bit of a buzz standing in here.
You were inhaling the vapor that came off of his skin.
Nobody strike a match.
This man is the sickest vape.
I heard strike a match.
You did
Great
hear
Great
that.
bonfire.
Just pull out a torch like that.
Whoa.
Passing now.
We did it,
Yeah.
Wolverines. We saved the estate by burning it to the ground.
You guys
This
are...
guy charged us like 4 gold, so we burned his entire.
It's not even his establishment. He just works there. Like, this Dunkin' Donuts employee pissed me off, so I burned down the whole building.
It's
Does
Florida.
insurance exist in
I
Nebraska?
was gonna say that's a normal behavior.
So,
I love
you all
when I
are
do shit.
staying with Gary's place, yes?
Are we?
I assume you're working with him. I guess that was
Looks
never
like a
established, but
ball.
I've seen you at his place before, so I assume so.
For the duration of this operation, I think we're staying there. Yes.
I thought you assumed so because that's where you were told to go.
No, that's too smart for me. That's a good point, though.
This guy has less than 8 intelligence.
him and Passy make a good duo.
I hate to interrupt. I
Yeah.
should probably disappear because I have done 0 session prep for the game I
Oh,
have
yeah.
to run in 14
It's fine.
minutes.
We can call it there, and we'll just assume at this point that Gary offered you guys all rooms, and we'll pick up next time from the next morning when you all awake. So that's that.
Neat.
I'm sorry to cut it